the smart bands like kind of used piracy to their advantage. Like you take a band like Iron Maiden, who what they would do is they would look at the places where their music was being most pirated and then tour that country because they knew that all those people that were pirating that music and streaming that music would come to the show and buy
Yeah.
merchandise, and that's really where the real money was.
Smart.
So yeah, that's like really, and a
I
lot of
think
bands will say
Overkill did
that.
that too.
Yeah, a lot of bands will say that, like, if you can't afford to buy the record, then at least come to the show and buy a T-shirt because that we end up making more money from that anyway. Because they don't have to deal with the record company. Then the money's pretty much going directly into the band. I mean, the venue obviously takes a portion of it, but like for having your merch there, but most of it goes to the band as opposed to most of it going to the record company.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a shame that Blowfly didn't come up in that era. He probably would have had a lot more success if he was, you know, now, still alive now, born a little bit later and producing music now still. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, there's really not much that you could do. I mean,
No.
I don't know. I don't know if he would have like necessarily gotten a whole lot bigger. I don't think. I mean, it's he might have just still stayed where he was because like it was
Yeah, but I think he would have had
like,
more.
it was 2016 when he died. So like, how much
Well, I think he
success
would
could
have.
he have potentially gotten?
I think he would have had more financial success, like because obviously he's was well known enough that he was working with all these big artists, but just
Yeah,
wasn't getting reaping the benefits of that. I think he would have been more able to do that and parlay his his I guess his fame. Again, I never heard of him before this,
mm,
but like kind of parlay that a little bit better and kind of make money off of it, and especially again now where you could release music without any kind of record company backing. I think that would have been he would have had a lot of success with that. And he was
yeah.
an older guy, so even he did live until 2016, but he's an older guy. He probably wasn't that aware of like the being able to do it at home and self-release music and stuff like that because
Maybe
again he didn't
he
come up
might
in
have
that
been
era.
because the other guy in his band, the guy Tom Broker,
Mm-hmm.
that was Tom Bowker, that was his drummer slash manager. So like
Mm-hmm.
he would have known because he was like probably a little bit more he was a little more in tune with things and he was always thinking about more or less. I mean, this is just gauging from the documentary. He was
Yeah.
kind of like thinking, okay, well, I've got to plan his career and my career because my career
Right.
depends on his career. So I've got to figure out what are we going to do to make money, or like where are we going to tour to make money? How like what gigs are we going to do? When are we going to go to the studio? How do we do this and whatever? So I think So I'm sure and I'm sure like he's one of the people who like helped who could have helped put some of his catalog on there, or at least his more like recent stuff. And I'm sure Jello did it too and everything. So I don't think
Yeah.
that I don't think he would have been left in the dark. I just think
Well, I
because
think it was just because he was an older guy. Like
yeah,
even like Tom Boker, his drummer, ran the Facebook page and stuff like that. So he probably really wasn't like didn't use computers as much. Probably didn't like if his drummer was handling his Facebook page and all that. I would say he's probably was just not as much into the digital aspect of music.
yeah. I mean, if they
Um,
hired like a couple of marketing companies, that probably would have been all right. But like, I
yeah,
don't know how much, but I don't know how much money they had, or if they had the money to do that. And I don't know how much
right.
I don't know how much a full fledged marketing company costs. I know how much a PR campaign can cost,
Yeah.
but like for like just musicians, depending on who you go to, like it's
Well,
somewhere
marketing companies,
like
I think it's probably
marketing
a lot of
companies
it.
charge a lot
It's
more.
probably percentage based also. Like,
That could be it
like if you,
too.
10, 15% of whatever your gross sales are goes to the marketing company.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on which marketing company you use because they all have like their own pay
Yeah,
structures and strategies. Like some of them, it might just be like, like for 3 months, like $3,000, we'll do this, that, and the other thing, and we'll boost
right.
your sales in 90 days, or or what, or like your money back, or some whatever it is that they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of it would just be like just targeting and retargeting through Facebook ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of that seems to be the way that they've done it for a while, and I guess that they would be also doing it on Instagram and all that other stuff. They do like it's called like a funnel strategy.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sure that's what they would have done, and that would have been made the most sense to do. But I don't know how much I don't know how much a place would have charged. I don't know who does it or anything like that, and I don't know how much money was really coming in for them to do so.
Yeah.
So who really knows? Or maybe Jello would have done it, and then they would have it would have been like an IOU, or he would have to take it out stuff. I don't really know, but
Yeah.
he might have been in a little bit better shape had he stuck around for another like 4 or 5 years and still been here today. But like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, on that note, why don't we listen to some couple Blowfly tracks?
Yes, good idea. And Jesus Christ, he's how many albums does he have? One, two,
Quite a bit. It was very prolific.